Hi, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to talk about AWS Data Lake. So this Data Lake is very new to AWS platform. It is yet to be launched globally. It is in preview state in few of the availability zones and regions. So we are going to just discuss about what it does, what are its features, and how it is beneficial for our big data solution. In AWS environment, it delivers an integrated suite of services that provide everything needed to quickly and easily build and manage a data lake for analytics. AWS powered data lakes can handle the scale, agility, and flexibility required to combine different types of data and analytics approaches to gain a deeper insight in ways that traditional data silos and data warehouses cannot do. So there are more organizations with data lakes and analytics on AWS than anywhere else. So nowadays most of the people, most of the customers, they are moving on to data lake rather than just utilizing one or two services. And in a way it is good also, because you get a centralized data repository in the form of S3 or maybe EBS volumes. So depending upon your need, you can create your data lake. So definitely if we look at the current diagram, you can actually move your data very quickly. You can import your data from an on-premise data centers to your data lake, which is based on AWS cloud, and you can also move or import your data from in a real-time basis from various IoT devices, or maybe from system logs or something like that. Then you can store any type of data which securely from gigabyte to exabyte. So space is not a constraint, and you pay as you go. So whatever amount of space you are going to consume, you are going to only pay for it. You don't have to go for additional upfront cost. And definitely you can analyze your data with the broad set selection of analytics services, which we have already discussed and we are going to discuss in our upcoming lectures. Not only that, data lake also helps you in performing machine learning tasks, so like future predictions, outcomes, and prescribe actions for rapid response. So all those things are becomes super easy. Not only that, if we have to talk about some of the benefits of data in data lake, so of course object storage helps you in lot of durability, which is like 11 nines of durability. Then we have multi-tier storage environment, which is S3 standard, then S3 infrequently accessible, then you have Amazon Glacier, so on and so forth. And of course you have quick response time and retrieval time. So your entire data is safe, secure, compliant with all the regulatory norms, along with its durability and flexibility, plus the cost benefits you have. So of course it is very durable, and the storage is as per your budget and requirement. Then you can definitely back up all your data which you are not using, or maybe you are not accessing frequently. You can move back all that data to Amazon Glacier, and it is again 11.9 durable, and of course it will give you more cost effectiveness. And then let's say if you just want to do the cataloging of your data, you just put all your data in Amazon Data Lake, and then apply the Glue service, which is nothing but a fully managed service that provides a data catalog to make data in the data lake discoverable, and has ability to extract, transform, and load to prepare data for analysis. So not only it manages the cataloging of the data, but it does help you in the ETL process. So it will make your data ready for your analysis, and then you can plug and play your tools to perform analytic predictions, or any kind of a graph, a chart, or any kind of analytics that you want to perform. Not only that, with the help of data lake, you can actually go ahead and go for interactive analysis using Athena. Then you have Amazon EMR, which is purposefully been given for elastic MapReduce jobs. So let's say if you have any specific MapReduce job, or maybe any Spark job or HBase job that you already you have been using in your existing environment, but now you want to utilize that same piece of code or same kind of functionality using a cloud's benefit. Definitely you can move everything in the Amazon EMR, and then making use of Amazon Data Lake and EMR, you can make you can optimize your cost, you can optimize your report processing time, and so on and so forth. Then using Amazon Redshift, which is a MPP database, which will give you a very high throughput data warehousing capability. It is very cheap, and it starts for as small as 25 cents per hour, and it can scale up to petabytes. So it is up to you, like how you want to use it. There are lots of use cases, you can do real-time analysis using Amazon Kinesis. You can use Firehose to plug in your real-time data and put it in Data Lake, and then you start digging the data as per your requirement. Your Amazon Elasticsearch service is going to give you an operational analytics. So for operational analytics such as application monitoring, log analytics, and clickstream analytics, you can use Amazon Elasticsearch service, which will allow you to search, explore, filter, aggregate, and visualize your data in near real time. So there are lots of applications that we have for Amazon Data Lake. It not only gives you security, it gives you flexibility to store your data as in when you go. Then you have other services for like Amazon QuickSights, which is utilized for creating dashboards and visualization charts. And last but not the least, you can definitely utilize all your data which is kept on Data Lake in machine learning. So for predictive analytics use cases, AWS provides a broad set of machine learning services and tools that run on your data lake on AWS. The service come from the knowledge and capability that the Amazon have built, where machine learning has powered Amazon.com's recommendation engines, supply chain, forecasting, fulfillment centers, and capacity planning. So you have lots of platform services, application services, and frameworks and interfaces. So lots of machine learning, deep learning tools you can make use of, and definitely you are going to get the benefit of the flexibility that is inbuilt in AWS. Now, many people will say that okay, you have got lots of services which Amazon is anyways offering, and we have already discussed. So why is the need to come up with this kind of separate service? Why Data Lake and Analytics on AWS? So definitely flexibility and choice. So AWS offers the broad set of analytic tools and engines that analyzes data using open formats and open standard. So you get to store your data in the standards based data format of your choice, like CSV, Org, Grok, Avro, and Parquet, and the flexibility to analyze the data in a variety of ways, such as data warehousing, interactive SQL queries, real-time analytics, and big data processing. You name it, and most of the available services in the market are available on the AWS platform. So that flexibility and the choice you have got on the AWS Data Lake, and with the help of analytic tools. Then you have unmatched scalability and availability, which is Amazon S3 is built to store and retrieve any amount of data with unmatched availability and built from the ground up to deliver 11.9 of durability. It is only storage offering that can store your data in multiple data centers across the availability zone within a single AWS region, or unmatched resilience to single data center issue. So it is very highly resilient, fault tolerant, and the high availability data source. So you can just save it and forget about it. And let's say if you want to save the cost, you can move your data in a cyclic way to the lesser priced data layers. So and not to mention that it is highly secure, so it follows all the security norms. It comes with key management system. It comes with it comes with all the encryptions. Not only that, you can look out for Amazon Macy service, which will actually find out the sensitive data which are which are mandatory to be compliant in terms of GDPR and other regulatory things. So you can actually discover those data, can mask it, all those things can be done. And then of course it is cost effective, because the data lakes built on AWS are the most cost effective. The data that is infrequently used can be moved to Amazon Glacier, and which provides long-term backup and archive at a very low cost. And definitely, storing data in AWS S3 or even in our Amazon Data Lake is going to be very cost effective, because you pay only what you use. You don't have to over provision your storage or anything. You just pay for what you use. Now, for fast performance, definitely the analytics service like Amazon Redshift, Amazon Athena were built for fast interactive query performance to support large number of concurrent interactive queries. So when you're running AWS broad portfolio of analytics and machine learning services using Amazon S3, only the subset of data that are needed within objects are returned, leading to much faster queries for up to like as fast as 4,000 times faster. And it could be very cheap in terms of retrieval and storage and all those things. And not to forget the feature that we have where you can move your unnecessary data into Glacier. So that way it will be easier for you to store and save your cost. The AWS is again the largest partner network and has twice as many partner integrators as anyone else in this field. So when tens and thousands of partners, including consulting and independent software vendors from all across the globe, participate in such kind of a service, definitely as a customer we can get benefit out of it. This makes it easy to work and integrate with many of the same tools you use and love today. So definitely not only that, it is easy to start, it is easy to just to plug in with multiple applications with multiple data sources, and it's very easy to initiate a data lake. Just imagine a scenario wherein you are asked to create a data lake. Now look at the the pain that you have to go through in order to design a data lake, in order to figure out what could be its capacity, what could be its compute, how it should be arranged with each other, what are the security parameters, and there are lots of things that you need to take care of. So but with AWS Data Lake, it comes all in one single service, and you can make use of all the other underlying AWS services that we have already spoken of. So in a way, this particular service is going to be a game changer for people who are going to use AWS Data Lake as their analytic platform. So hope this lecture was useful, and hope I have made certain points. I will just go through some more points that I have written here. So of course it is a centralized repository that allows you to store all your structured and unstructured data at any scale, and data can be imported from any source. As I mentioned earlier, it could be ERP, CRM, data warehouse, log, devices, web sensors, social media, you name it, and you can just import data from anywhere. Of course it can be used for business intelligence, machine learning, data warehouse queries, big data processing, interactive analytics, and real-time processing. Of course works on all type of application and tools without any data movement, because the data is going to store at the AWS Data Lake. All you need to do is to figure out where your data is, point your tool towards the data, and start exploring, start doing the analytics. AWS Data Lake is also designed for low cost data storage and analytics, which I have mentioned that it is going to give you flexibility and the efficiency of saving your cost. So in a way it eases out your burden, and definitely it makes more sense to store your data in such a format and plug and play your tools, and you can always bring down your tools as in when you need. You can go back again, so depending upon how you want, you can do it. Now what would be the data life cycle in AWS Data Lake? So if you look at the diagram here, you have a setup storage, that set up a channel from which data will be stored. So you will have to define an availability zone, VPC, security policies, and data storage and archival mechanism. So once you are done with that, you need to move the data. Now you can move the data in AWS S3 in the raw format and manage the archival policy once the raw data gets consumed. So as I mentioned earlier, that you can set your data policy, data lifecycle, that after how many days data is going to move from one data storage class to another data storage class, and further at the end of the cycle how the data is going to get stored in Glacier for archival, or maybe after some time you want to destroy it. So it completely is customizable and easy to configure. Then before you do the analysis, definitely you cleanse the data, prepare the data, catalog the data, which is nothing but the ETL part of it. So clean your raw data, catalog it for a better consumption, initiate the archival process for the used raw data. Now the last part is make data available for analytics. So once you are cleaning data, cataloging it, you can put it in a separate S3 bucket, which can be used after applying all the desired security policies, and you can make it available to all the analytics and machine learning tools. So that way it will be easy for anybody to utilize this same set of data for multiple types of analytics. So hope this lecture was useful, and I made certain points which were really relevant for understanding of what AWS Data Lake is. For more understanding, for more information, you can definitely go back to aws.amazon.com/bigdata, and you can read more about it. Though this service is still in the preview, I'm sure you will find it more attractive when it comes to creating your data lake on cloud platform. So thanks for watching the lecture, and we'll see you in the next lecture. Thanks. Bye.